Hey guys, welcome back to the Strong Life Podcast. It's been a while since I've recorded something like this on Zoom, a solo episode, but I believe we're at episode 550, somewhere around there. And if you're new here, welcome aboard. Make sure you go to ZachStrength.com, pick up your free strength training courses. Those strength training courses are great for adult men, and they're also great for athletes. For athletes, you could add jumping, sprinting, med ball throws. Don't get fancy with it. Let's see the topic I'm going to be covering. I'm going to do a screen share here. And of course, you could listen on Apple and Spotify. So, this is an article from my blog that I updated and upgraded. I don't recall when I actually wrote this, but I updated it. I like to use the search bar right here, as you could see, and I'll search for minimalist training, early days, like early days underground strength gym. I'll search for strength coach business. I'll search for strong over 40, training over 40, knee injuries, shoulder health, you name it. I use the search bar on my own website. So, 5 training tips as you get older and fancy versus better training. So, let's see where we are with regards to what episode we're on. And this is on Apple Podcasts. I'm opening up. So, yes, this is episode 550. Thanks to everybody who's been leaving 5-star reviews. You're awesome. I love how I offer gifts to people who leave reviews. And some people will say, Zach, I don't want a gift. I'm just grateful. But right now we are in February. It's February 4th. And look, last review was January 2nd. So it goes to show you we are not getting a whole lot of reviews. 550 episodes, 622 ratings. Not that great. Would love to really be over 1,000. And people got to just take the 30 to 60 seconds. So check it out. I'm going to read through these tips and expand on them. Look at this photo of Sergio Oliva. So if you're listening, make sure you come and check this out. I will link this up, of course, on the blog. So, as we quote unquote get older, I love to use that in a quote because some people in their mid 30s are like, oh, I'm old, or I'm in my late 20s, man. Now that I'm older, I'm like, brother, come on. I'm 50, and not to sound like an arrogant prick, I'm sure I will sound like one. I don't think I train that hard, but I look at how some of the athletes are training out there when they are in a weight room or when they're in a local gym, sitting on the benches, laying on the benches, checking their phone, checking their hair from the phone camera while on the bench. I tell boys, I go, man, you check your hair more than girls used to check their hair. There's not a whole lot of training going on. There's a lot of phone touching, and there's a lot of laying down, sitting down. And I have to have this conversation with athletes all the time. When a finisher says sleds carries arms, and the first thing you do is a cable tricep push down, you just told me everything I need to know. And I'm learning that the reason why some athletes don't want to train in their high school weight room is because when you're around lazy people, distracting people, sneaky people, they bring you down. Their energy is that strong. So let's be the man in the arena and the rare few women who are out there listening. So as we get older, we have more responsibilities in life. You've become a dad. Now you're parenting. You might have more than one kid. So I remember as a younger man, late teens, early 20s, I was told, hey, man, you're not really going to get stronger when you get older. You'll be too busy. Okay. And even the quote unquote experts out there, they make it like jumping rope is this thing that's going to transform your life, and back squatting is going to break your back. It has been ages since my back has been hurt from squatting, and I'm not the strongest guy anymore. Okay. The weights that I squat now in the 1 to 5 rep range are weights I did for 20 reps in my late teens and 20s. So I could squat 315 for 1 to 5 reps. Back in the day, I could do it for 20 to 25 reps. My max back then was around 545. So if you're older than me, okay, we do have some people reading the blog, listening to the podcast. You might be in your mid 50s, 60s, okay? Experts are telling you, you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do that. One thing you should be is get strong, okay? They'll tell you, stop lifting heavy, you're going to get hurt. Just do high reps and you'll actually get cut. The strength training is crucial. The proper bodybuilding workouts are crucial, but it's the nutrition and the cardio that's going to really help with the fat loss. Stop squatting and deadlifting. It's bad for your back. Again, the experts, the real experts will tell you being weak is bad for your back. So I started training in 1989, and I actually started coaching other people while I was in high school. I was writing programs for friends of mine that were playing other sports. Everything was high volume bodybuilding work, but guess what? We were working. And it's interesting when I look at athletes today, when they get an opportunity to train on their own, they take the handle off of the cable and they grab the ball of the of the cable and they do tricep one arm push downs with 20 pounds. What the fuck is that? Then they're doing cable crossovers. When I was bodybuilding and really started putting on size, we trained pretty close to what powerlifters did. It was basic power bodybuilding, which is what you saw a lot of golden era and silver era bodybuilders doing. And you got to remember also in the silver era, you had bodybuilders who were also powerlifters, bodybuilders who were also competing in weightlifting. And a lot of the guys, the York Barbell team, were competitive bodybuilders and Olympic weightlifters. So I was benching. I would incline bench, dumbbell pullovers, dumbbell flies, dips, then 2 sets of cable crossovers. Okay. For triceps, easy bar skull crushers, lying dumbbell extensions, heavy overhead tricep dumbbell extensions, dips, high reps, weighted dips, low reps. Then at the end, tricep push downs. Never a main lift. Close grip benching for triceps. What about shoulders? Seated military press behind the neck. Seated military press front. Standing military press. Heavy one arm side dumbbell raises. Almost cheating. I remember using 90s, 70s, 90s. Heavy rear delt flies. Back training. Deadlift. RDL. Heavy shrugs. Barbell row, overhand grip, underhand grip, one arm row. I mean, what do we see today? I want to do lat pull down. I want to do cable row. This is why you maybe have like a big physique, but you have no performance behind it. This is why you do all this bodybuilding stuff, but you're not big because you are not strong. And to get big, you do need to get strong unless you are in chemical warfare. So in this new era of training athletes, I think they're being influenced negatively by all these Instagram bodybuilders. I guess I don't follow it enough, but I guess bodybuilding is dead. When I was coming up as a teenager, there was a lot of local bodybuilding shows, and they were very tough. Yeah, guys were on steroids, no doubt about it, but they were all strong. They all squatted and did heavy lifting. So I want to talk about lessons I've learned that since the early 90s and mid 90s, I really picked up on that have still stuck with me. Okay. Number one, the basics will always work if you do the work. Squatting, benching, deadlifting, all kinds of presses, farmer walks, clean and press, etc. If I would have known back then what I know now, I would have incorporated farmer walks into my bodybuilding training to help increase the size of shoulders, forearms, upper back, traps, and so on. Okay. I suggest hitting your main lifts with variations. It's very interesting to see that athletes today and teenagers today are very close-minded about that. Like, hey, you're always benching with the straight bar. Why don't you use that Swiss bar? Oh, I don't like it. All right, you benched for the past 3 years, flat bench. You need to do an incline bench. What I like to do for me is similar to how Westside trained with Louis, is the max effort lift changed every week. What I do at the underground is we do a mini cycle of 2, maybe 3 weeks, and then we're always changing it up. So we might back squat for 3 weeks. We might pause squat for 3 weeks. We might front squat for 3 weeks, pause front squat, box squat, traditional athletic stance, wide stance. We mix it up because we're trying to develop strength all around, trying to develop performance from angles, not just strong where you're comfortable, not just strong where you're happy to be doing this exercise and that's your favorite barbell. We mix it up. eccentrics, heavy eccentrics, pause reps, speed reps, you name it, we mix it up. We're very conjugate oriented. Okay. Basics in athleticism. Can you jump rope? Can you do basic gymnastic drills? Cartwheels leading to your left and right, round-offs leading left and right, forward roll, backwards roll, dive roll. All of these things should be able to be done. And ever since I left the Edison location, we would do all of our cartwheels and tumbling on the grass. I've tried doing it at the underground in Manasquan, and I'm afraid somebody's going to break their neck. We've had many athletes that just fear putting their hands on the floor during a cartwheel. And so I make them do what we did at age 5 or 2 or 3, which is a log roll. And even though the athlete might not need that in his or her sport, their body needs to be prepared to move better. They have to learn to move better. Okay. Now we hear fancy words such as physical literacy. Seriously, guys, what the fuck is that? And I'm sorry for cursing. I know some of you listen with your kids in the car, but I'm actually sick of the bullshit. Physical literacy? Shut the fuck up. How about athletic? Yes or no? Why not? Physical education is failing us. I spoke with my buddy Paul and I said, dude, do you remember when we had middle school phys ed? Usually your middle school and high school phys ed teachers were fucking strong. I remember my middle school phys ed teachers were strong and fit. And even we had a substitute phys ed teacher. I remember we were like, oh, show us your muscle. He like flexed. We are like, oh my God. We wanted to earn his respect. So we started getting better at push-ups. We had to climb rope and they had those little thin mats underneath us. And I look back, I'm like, oh my God, those ropes were not like low. We're talking 30 feet, 30 feet. And I was not the strongest, but I remember a couple kids in class climbed up the rope, grabbed the one next to them, and went down on the rope. We had gymnastics, we had wrestling, we had to run the mile. We were tested in push-ups. If you couldn't do pull-ups, you were doing the bent arm hang. Athleticism. Now, I would really love to see what is happening inside physical education programs. Let me take a sip of my water here. I would say this. I'm going to safely assume, looking at the athletes that we're getting, they're not jumping rope. We have many high school kids that cannot jump rope. We're teaching them to jump rope. When I taught elementary phys ed, I was teaching our first graders how to jump rope. Okay? Athleticism. Please shove your physical literacy up your ass. That is the fakest, one of the fakest terms. Okay? When athletes ignore and their parents ignore the encouragement of multiple sports, even at a recreational level, these kids are on a fast track towards injury. So you need to be exposed to a lot of different sports when you're younger. And what we're seeing today, we see the younger athletes have a very high level of skill, but they do experience more injuries. They seem to always need time off. They seem to have this emotional burnout thing happening. And you can see right here, I have a video on being strong and useless. I'm going to play it. And again, those of you listening, you got to come to the blog to watch it. And I'll link that up below. I'm ranting. I get fired up. And I remember that kid. He was on the record board for squat 405, bench 315, and cleaning 225. Struggled during our warm up, which back in the day was so basic: 10 squats, 10 lunges, 10 push up, 10 recline row. I think it was 5 pull-ups or 10 recline row, band pull-aparts, and then it was like sled drag, one arm carry. And he was so unfit. I remember when he went to college, he played D3 football. I got an email from one of the coaches, and they said, "This kid said he trained with you." And back then, we were very, I'd say, I don't know what the word is, popular, because nobody was really showcasing what they did at the gym. We had the underground strength show. And he said, "This kid said he's trained with you." He's like, "But there's no way he trained with you. He's always hurt. He can't even make it through practice." He was fat. He signed up for the twice a week membership option, which I don't do anymore. Our training at the underground is unlimited. We tell athletes, if you're in high school, you got to get here 3 days a week. Guess what most of them do? Twice a week. Guess what a lot of them do? 3 weeks on, 3 weeks off. I can't get there. Always busy. And then we lose kids, and I'm going to tell you why. Because they want to train with their friends in their basement. They want to max out on the bench press, turn their head sideways while benching, and back bridge while benching. And their parents think this is good. He likes to just train with his friends. And I'm going to tell you what's starting to break my heart more and more. I have said to football players and wrestlers, I said, in your sport, do people break bones? Yes. Do they tear ACLs, tear shoulders? Yes, they do. Even when you have done all the correct preparation, in football and wrestling, you have a chance of breaking your neck. And yesterday, this breaks my heart. A 16-year-old wrestler, female wrestler in New Jersey, is right now paralyzed. This happened yesterday. I think she's undergone some surgeries already, and I can only pray to God that she is not paralyzed. These sports are way too dangerous for parents to be okay with kids not being properly trained, or I'm just going to let my kid have fun and be part of the team. And that is just crap talk. And I got to tell you, I'm hearing that a lot from moms. I have not had too many dads contacting me lately. It's all the moms. And the moms are saying, I don't really care if he becomes like this great athlete. I just want him to adopt healthy habits. Mom, you need to get a fucking clue. That is a horrible, shit, average attitude, and it's dangerous. And this is why, this is why we see kids who are like, "I don't care. It's okay if I quit." It's not okay. And it's not okay to get involved with a sport and be average, because you're going to get hurt. And as a mom or dad, you need to protect your kid. And the way to protect them is get them strong. Period. End of story. Number two, right here, I'm highlighting it. Do not neglect the assistance lifts. Okay. Strength is earned. You must be prepared to work your ass off with the smaller exercises that help build the bigger exercises. They also need to be utilized to work your weak areas and build them up. I prefer the assistance lifts in supersets and circuits. Okay. And they boost general physical preparation. Right here, we've got a video of some upper body assistance training. And then I throw in some man strength videos. I love those videos. But I want to go back to the assistance work. Today, before we prepped up for training at my high school, I put a circuit up. And I said, when I tell you guys, you can do the prep on your own, I give you autonomy, I give you independence, you skip it. If we are going to squat today, we do a full body workout. Today's training was squatting, supersetted with about 100-foot sprint. Okay. Contrast method, 4 sets. The next exercises was dumbbell bench, supersetted with lunging, full body workout. Then we went sleds, carries, and then choice, which is arms, abs, more upper body work. To prepare for squatting, sprinting, benching, lunging, this is going to be our prep. You need to do sleds. You need to do hanging leg raises, band pull aparts, push ups, recline row. You could do pull ups. You need to do Bulgarian split squats, and you need to do all of that work for 2 rounds. You need to do assistance work as a circuit, as a prep. Look up Wenning warm up. Matt Wenning and I did a seminar together. That is a bonus in the underground strength coach certification. Very in-depth program design, very powerful stuff. And I think a lot of people are still mad at Matt when he got some, I'm not even sure what he did there, got some PhD in education and it wasn't really legit. And so people are mad at him. And I don't know what to say about that. I think Matt got caught up in this dumb fucking YouTube world of you got to impress everybody. People don't give a shit about us. They don't. Okay. They care about themselves. They care about the information, and that's it. Now, assistance lifts. In this video, I'm doing recline row and benching. Let's check it out. Recline row on the rope. I'm just going to mute that. And okay, I'm benching here. Let's forward that a little bit. Incline bench. That's a low incline. And back then, didn't probably have no shoulder problems. So I'm doing elbows out, maybe slightly in, and doing a lot of reps. I like to bench with palms in. I like it a little bit neutral grip, better on the shoulders. But you can see I'm kind of jacked back there, just saying, back in the day. And I think this video is from my 30s. I'm 50. This could be close to 20 years ago. I think I may have been like 35, 36 when this was. Let's say it was 16 years ago. I would have been 34. So dumbbell benching for high reps, recline row on the rope, great for grip work. I loved the setup of the Edison Underground because of all the beam I had in the middle of the gym with all of the pull-up handles. You can see in the back right here is the grappler. Still have it. See specialty bars back there. Elite FTS squat rack, back extension here. These are all things that got to be worked on. Okay, so assistance work, that's just one superset. So those two exercises need to be done for 3 sets, 4 sets. I hate to say 2 sets. And then here, this video, repetition method. I'm going to mute this. This is Ray Jazz training extra after an underground session. He's doing decline benching. He rigged it up a little bit sketchy, but Ray Jazz is very adventurous. Benching with the elbows a little bit out. This is sometimes a better feeling bench press motion. It doesn't bother the shoulders as much. And then I think he has a hard time doing a sit up with them. Usually you want a teammate to hand you, training partner to hand you those dumbbells. Then this is Michael, who's now coaching at Monmouth University, doing a very unique fly and shoulder movement. Michael is big with weightlifting, Olympic weightlifting, but he's a strength coach at Monmouth University. There goes Ray Jazz again, back to his decline bench. And then I think we see him doing some triceps and flies. Michael here was doing an assistance day. I wouldn't be recommending high school kids to do this. Michael is a post-collegiate athlete, and this is his assistance day. What does he do on the other days? Clean, squat, jerk, all kinds of carries. He's doing face pulls here. Getting a good sweat going. Ray Jazz doing unique single arm flies. I warm up with a lot of flies. I take 20-pound dumbbells. I do 10 to 15 flies, 10 to 15 bench, 10 to 15 triceps. Then I stand up, 10 to 15 rear delt flies, which is very much a warm up / prep that I do inside Gladiator Strong and Dad Strong. 7-day free trial in the links. Michael doing 1-arm overhead carries. Ray Jazz doing dips with band resistance. Very good. And you could see, strong dude. Ray Jazz, very strong. Okay. AJ Roberts told me about this. AJ was a world record holder while training at Westside Barbell. He said when he got to Westside, he was strong with the barbell lifts, but he was in shock when he saw the guys doing 100 and 110-pound dumbbells for tricep extensions. And there's videos of that, and I think I put it in here, so give me a second. I'm drinking water, but I also have, I love it, the Jocko Hydrate. And you could just put them in there. This is Chuck Vogelpohl talking about how you could do anything when you're hurt. Let's check it out. Eh. There you go. It's a mindset. And then this video, I'm not going to play it, but Kenny Patterson doing 100 or 110-pound dumbbell triceps. Louis Simmons talking about push-ups. I remember this video. He would have guys doing push-ups with hands on the barbell in the bottom of the rack, chain push-ups, and ring push-ups. And back then, we didn't have all these gymnastic rings. So you would go to the hardware store, buy chains, and stick your hands through the loop of chains, and they would be destroying your forearms, like they'd be hitting up against your bones. Okay. Number three, mental boundaries. My goodness, people are so much. I'm on my own program. I don't want to train with anybody. I have this conversation with Nate Stout all the time. How he's like, man, it's hard to have training partners. He's like, I invite people to train with me and Matt. That's our other coach. And he's like, yeah, we'll be there, but I'm going to do my XYZ workout. He's like, why would you come to the gym to train around us, but not with us? Oh, I'm on my own program. Why? Because you don't want to compete against somebody. You're afraid that somebody else is lifting more than you. That's the purpose of training partners. A training partner is supposed to make you better. I'm supposed to kick your ass, and you're supposed to try to kick my ass in another exercise. So we're constantly making each other better. In fact, that's also what would make a good training partner in sports. You can't win all the time. It's like a fake confidence. So, what's the best way to get stronger? You got to train with people stronger than you. Okay. Sometimes it's not even the exercise, it's who you train with. Okay. The worst teams, I have noticed, they have a few motivated individuals, 10, 15, 20%. Then you have the other 70%. They're, I don't want to say they're motivated. They're good. They're definitely not great. They don't suck. They're good, but you can't really count on them when your neck is on the line. There's a 50-50 chance if it's a close battle, they'll win or lose. Or maybe a 60, it's more likely they will lose. 55-45, 60-40. And then the other 10%, they're just fucking taking up space. I don't know. Yeah, we used to call them a breathing forfeit. Like, what the fuck are you even doing here? And I know I'm ranting like crazy, but guess what? Fucking need it. The way to get better is to be in a room where people force you to get better or you get kicked out of that fucking room. Get the fuck out of this gym. I remember when I was training for bodybuilding, I used to be pissed at this one dude. He would never would drive, fucking cheap. And then when he would train, I'd be like, get up. You're not sitting down. We ain't got time to waste. I would flip out on him. Okay. Train the mind. I prefer my assistance lifts, as shown in this video, more of a circuit. So watch, let me play here. And so you're going to have to watch this, guys. The best way is you're listening to it, maybe while driving, maybe ripping out the steering wheel, and your son or daughter is mad that I'm cursing. I'm sorry. I am very sorry. I will buy them ice cream. Okay. Circuit training. Okay. This is a separate day, but this is me doing swings. This is the early days underground. You can see very bland in the back, shoving a freaking mop in the corner there. Freaking tough for kids back then. Okay, what do we got here? Incline benching. Now let's see what exercises are next. Alternating incline benching. Very good exercise. Then I'm busy talking. I got the buzz cut, so that was a long time ago because I have not buzzed my hair in a very long time. Now we're on incline dumbbell tricep extensions. And then I superset them with tape presses. Look at those pipes. Pretty jacked. Also used to train with my Doberman. You see the tennis ball. Now doing a drop set. And she just drops the tennis ball near me. She didn't care. Drop sets. Bodybuilding drop sets. Okay, some intensity. Now what do we got? Kettlebell one arm row. Hulking that 106 like a freaking savage because that's baby weight for me. Now what do we got next? Still going on assistance work. Thick bar curls with a neutral grip bar that Dean from Black Widow Training Gear made me. Go to blackwidowtg.com. I love my guy Dean, and I miss my Doberman. So doing these kind of curls, I'm putting a little body nudge into them, working some shoulders, biceps, forearms, a little upper back. All right, let's go. Now what do I got? Kettlebells, side raises with kettlebells, breaking the rules. Now rear delts with kettlebells. Now what would we see a high school kid do? He'd get on some pussy ass pec deck and do his fucking 20-pound rear delt flies. You need to get some heavy weights. I used to do seated rear delt flies with 60, 70, and 80-pound dumbbells. Okay? This is why, like, when I'm gonna tell you what somebody accused me of today. Now where do I go? Ring skull crushers. Look at that exercise. Triceps, big time ab work, and shoulders and lats. You could also do that with a barbell inside a squat rack. Okay. So you saw that circuit? Push the pace. Get yourself tough. This is a great video of Mark Smelly Bell. Look at him, big chunker. He did this awesome seminar at the Underground, him and Jesse Burdick. And man, I've talked about it many times before, but we call it the best seminar that nobody ever wanted to attend because people are bums, absolute bums. Stay the course. This is how you get strong and put on size. Consistency plus commitment. Technique must be perfect or almost perfect. Do not use sloppy form. Train hard, but don't destroy yourself. That's a tip for as you get older. You younger athletes, stop telling me and anybody else about smart training. You have never trained so hard that you can't fucking walk for a week. Oh, I squatted 7 years ago. I need to take today off. I need to go to the sauna and cold plunge. Shut the fuck up. Okay, now let me show you a photo that I've shared many times. I'm 19 and a few months. I think I was 6 weeks out from my bodybuilding show. So I'm going on my Instagram. Okay. And let's take a look at this physique. I love that video here of Tough Gym. Make sure you kids, oh, farm bar. Oh, look at this. Look at this, guys. Coach Doug Schwab, University of Northern Iowa, using the farm bar. Where is the bodybuilding photo? Here it comes. Now, somebody today said, man, I saw you. There's no way you were natural. I said, man, that's fucking annoying to hear that. They said, were you natural? I go, it's fucking annoying that you asked that question because it shows that you have no clue what it takes. And the kid says, well, you never know. That's right. You never know because look at how you train. You don't train. You don't train. This physique right here, I'm 19 and a few months old. I started training, lifting weights at age 13 and a half. Ever since then, I was probably lifting weights 5 to 6 days a week. 6 months out from this show, we did 3 days a week. Shoulders and arms, Monday, legs Wednesday, chest back Friday. The training sessions were very long. 2 hours was pretty common. 4 months out, we did chest buys, then legs, then shoulders, tries, then back. By the way, that's all in my Gladiator project, or it might be in the old school bodybuilding. Okay. Then 2 months out, we did 2 on, 1 off. Now, you could see the striations in my shoulders. Yes, natural. But let's talk about everything it took. Let me explain to you how disciplined I was. I was kind of sort of seeing this girl, and at 11 p.m., it was lights out, period, end of story. I often could not fall asleep at 11 p.m. Okay, I'd be kind of tossing and turning. I didn't drink coffee back then, nothing. 7 a.m., alarm. Even if I didn't have to go to school, I may have had a class at 10:30. I think once a week I had a night class at 5 p.m. or something like that. So 7 a.m., I'd wake up no matter what and drink a protein shake. Back then, it was the early days of Myoplex. One flavor. It was just plain, but the true flavor should have been called cement. It was like drinking cement. Then breakfast, as guaranteed as just as the sun will rise and set every day. My breakfast was 8 egg whites, one yolk, and a bowl of oatmeal, and a massive thing of water, a massive water. Now I'm going to drink that water. Now, that's already 2 meals. I ate every 3 hours. I wrote down everything I ate. After that, chicken and rice for every single meal, sometimes beef and rice, over and over and over again for 6 months. The last 6 weeks of the bodybuilding show, our nutritionist and whoever he worked with pro bodybuilders, he was their chemist. Okay. But remember, I was a natural bodybuilder. 6 weeks out was starting the carb cycling. And I believe it was 3 days. I can't remember if it was 3 days with carbs, 2 days without, or vice versa. But the last 2 or 3 weeks maybe it was the last 4 weeks. I can't remember. It's a little bit of a blur. 1995 was the only um, meat that I was eating, protein source was white turkey. Okay. And so I was eating 8 meals a day. I was eating an entire turkey every single day. My mom was going to the early days of Costco, was called Price Club, and she was buying multiple turkeys. And they would ask her, "Do you own your own restaurant? Like you're buying these turkeys every week?" And she said, "No, my son is a bodybuilder." So I'm eating turkey and a baked potato at every single meal, a pretty large baked potato. I believe that was 3 days. And then it was 2 days of turkey with broccoli and cauliflower. Oh my God. I was dreaming of eating carbohydrates after those 2 to 3 days ended. It was brutal. And so 6 weeks of the carb cycling. The guys that were on drugs did carb cycling for 2 or 3 weeks. I had to do it for 6 weeks. Everything was that took that much longer. Strength training. Let's say it was chest and biceps day. We warm up, 5 minutes on a bike upstairs, come downstairs, tricep push down, lat pull down, cable crossover, high rep dumbbell bench, high rep flies, empty bar barbell bench. I had done well over 100 reps of work before it was even time to do the chest and the benching. So we would start with a heavy exercise, work up, and it would be like working up to a heavy set of 3 or a heavy set of 5. We would bench, we would incline barbell bench, incline dumbbell bench. Next exercise, moderate reps, somewhere around 3 to 4 sets of 8 to 12 reps. Third exercise, now we're in the 15 to 20 rep range. So a workout might look like this: bench press, work up to, and forced reps and drop sets all the time. Fucking training to the death, destroying the muscles, punishing them to grow. After benching, then it would be maybe incline dumbbell bench or hammer strength incline presses. Then after that, incline dumbbell flies, superset with dumbbell pullovers. After that, cable crossover, superset with dips, just punishing the muscle. Leg day. Let's say I was squatting. After I squatted 405 for 5, I racked it. They took a plate off. Then I would do 315 for 10. I did drop sets from squatting, racked it. Squatted 225 for 15, rack it, squat 135 for 20. That's just the squats. Okay. We probably started before the squats with drop sets of leg extensions: 250, 200, 150, 100, 50 pounds. Probably did 50 reps right there, not including warm up. Same thing on leg curls: forced reps, negatives, forced negatives, just fucking working. A lot of pussies wouldn't even know what the fuck is going on with that. Squatting, leg press, work up to 8, 9, 10, 11 plates per side. Sit on top of the leg press. Same thing, work up to the heavy set. Guy jumps off, max out. Rack it, take 2 plates off, max out again. Last set, 50, 60, 70, 80 reps. Calf raises, standing calf raises, seated calf raises. Volume of work and intensity. Nobody, guys, not just for a couple days or a couple weeks, not just for months. I trained like that for years and years. By the time I had competed, I had done that training for 6 years. When I won the Mr. Israel bodybuilding show, the teen bodybuilding show, it was called the Young Mr. Israel, 18 and under. Um, I beat like 19 or 20 kids. Okay. 19 to 20 kids. And I knew that I had just trained so hard. And leading up to that show, I trained with Avner, the gym owner, and Joe, who went on to become a Navy SEAL. So if you're wondering if we trained hard, take a guess. I'm training with a guy who went on to become a Navy SEAL. Okay, let's shut that down. Okay, stay the course, consistency, commitment. What else do you guys want to hear from me? Let's stop screen sharing. Look in the background. Original Westside Barbell Crew, Bill Peanuts West. Look at the book, Strongest Shall Survive by Bill Starr, aka Starman, aka Coach Starr. 5 sets of 5, which was originated earlier by Reg Park, I believe was the first bodybuilder to bench press 500 pounds. Guys, you want to get big, you want to get strong, you need to work your ass off. Most people listening, you have the right work ethic. You have the right mindset. I don't think people are listening to the Strong Life who have that defeatist attitudes. But what attitude? But what I'm learning more and more is on episode 550, the majority of people are not like us. We are a rare breed. Bill Peanuts West looking at us from the iron heavens, looking at us with pride. Look at him lifting with those Zuber plates. 1, 2, 3, 4. And by the way, all these people collecting these. Oh yeah, I'll buy those plates for 15 grand. Then I'll fucking put them in a showcase in a room and never lift with them. The iron gods want you to lift with them, not no pussy shit collecting that nothing gets done with them. All right, I'm fucking fired up. Go to ZachStrength.com. Leave a 5-star review. I don't know why I'm always asking for them. I put out all this free content and I still have to ask for stuff. It goes to show you what kind of world we are in. And I don't fit in this world. I am out of here.